Right, you probably guess what's going on next. I'm doing pose number 3 from the Mark III kit. In order to do this one, I'm following the yellow markings, so all around here, and I'm going to add this plasma gun from the support sprue. And it's really going to be that simple. So let's get up and running, shall we? 15, 16, 17 and 18 are the ones we're getting out. So 17. There we go. You know, I think some people would kind of be annoyed, number 18 here, that they've used the same base models for these Horus Heresy, the Mark III and the Mark VI, you know, feeling like, you know, maybe they could have, you know, done different designs depending on the different armour. Does it bother me? Now, I always try and be fair in these things. I really do. I try and be fair. I try and kind of think about myself as a customer, self as a collector of models, you know, someone who enjoys this hobby. But I also like to think about things like my wallet, for want of a better word, and how decisions made can affect that, you know. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's start out from a hobbyist point of view. So from a hobbyist point of view, I want my miniatures to look like they're posed naturally. So one of the downsides to a lot of the older miniatures, particularly some of the hand sculpted ones, the metal ones as well, is you would get a kind of single pose and you'd be kind of not get that much variety. So the plastic kits always used to give you far better variety about posing. Now pretty much everything is plastic, and as a result of that, you ask yourself, well, do the new plastic kits give you the variety of poses that the older plastic kits used to have? And they don't. They actually just don't give you that freedom. If you've been watching my videos about building the old world stuff, you will know for a fact that I didn't particularly like the fact that the Bretonnian miniatures were lacking freedom in the parts department, in the position and pose department, compared to the Khemri skeletons, which you had a lot of choice about how you put those together. So where does this go? Well, from a hobbyist point of view, I don't think it's great that we have 5 poses and just 5 poses and nothing else, because what that does is it makes it harder to provide a unique look for our individual units. So then to have 2 types of armour all using exactly the same pose, well, of course, from a hobbyist point of view and from someone who cares about how my army looks, I'm just going to pop this guy in his base now. I don't know, part of me feels like, that's not as good. And you've probably seen from some of my videos that I am inclined to convert miniatures, do a bit of chopping and changing and playing around with stuff. So from a hobbyist point of view, the way that these kits are, they're very limiting. And then to have 2 kits, let me just get 19 and 20 off, that are identical in positioning, that's a bit disappointing. However, as I think I mentioned in my last video, because the 2 kits are identical, if you wanted to kit bash and potentially combine the armour across the different sprues, that is possible. But still, if these were more modular, if there was, like, say, the bodies, you built the bodies individually and the legs individually, actually you would have more freedom to kit bash. Let's get head 47 out as well. So hopefully you can see where I'm going for that. From a hobbyist perspective, it's not that good. Okay, so let's tackle this from a different viewpoint. Let's tackle this from a wallet point of view. Why does these identical sets help your wallet? Well, you can see, because the poses are the same, it allows me to take, and it allows Games Workshop to make, one set of special weapons and one set of heavy weapons and one set of command sprues, and then just use it. And then you know, so you're not, if you want some special weapon Mark 6 and some special weapon Mark 3, you're not having to buy 2 sets of support weapon kits, which I think they're only about £25, something like that, so they're not breaking the bank. But if you have limited money to indulge in your hobby, that will make a difference for you. Okay, so that's from a hobby perspective. Does it from a hobby perspective? Is it amazing? Is it for someone who wants things to look unique and special for themselves, but they don't have maybe the skill for converting? Is it a problem? Well, of course, yeah, I feel it is. Let's get 14 out. From a point of view of my wallet, however, it's cheaper, because if I want to get heavy weapons, if I want to get support weapons, I can buy that huge kit of weapons and I can use them across the board. So it's kind of like pros and cons, really. But of course, you know, if the units were more modular in nature, you'd have more freedom on positioning, and there'll be no doubt that these sprues would probably fit anyway. There's definitely some different ways of looking at it, of course. You know, you're free to disagree with me. It's important that everyone has an opinion, and that opinion might not match mine. Right, there we go, and you can see I got a nice plasma gun on this guy. I like that. Okay, let's get his head on. Let's have him really looking along the barrel of this gun. Say barrel, it's not really got a barrel, has it? It's a plasma gun. Okay. I'm just going to tidy up this. I wanted to get hold of some of the new Solar Auxilia, but I just a bit tight on money at the moment. Maybe when I move house, when it finally happens. My goodness, it's taking so long to move house. I want to beat the person who's buying my house to work quicker. Right, and now let's get the shoulder pads out, number 43. I've only got one more to do after this, and then I can build the rest from my comfy chair instead of hurting myself. There we go, have a look at that. That is, you know, that looks good, that one. So there we go, that is pose 3 of the Mark III plate with special weapon plasma pistol going onto it. And there we go, it's nice and simple. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you for the next video.